I want to tell you the story of the crisis a late Udubonch, Ezego of Ihiala, late Chief Victor Okafor, and Honorable Chuma Nzeribe had in the year 1997. I want to tell you this story. You may have heard of Chief Victor Okafor, aka Ezego, aka Udubonch. He was a billionaire when he was alive, but he lost his life in a fatal accident. But I am still going there. I will tell you what happened according to the stories that have been told, according to records. Yes. Honorable Chuma Nzeribe and Chief Victor Okafor both come from Ihiala local government area of Anambra State, Ihiala community, Ihiala local government area, Anambra State of Nigeria. Two of them were promising young men as at 1997. They were doing well for themselves and were rough in their own right. So, as brothers, they struck a business, they struck a deal, and Chief Victor Okafor dribbled Chief Honorable Chuma Nzeribe. And that didn't go down well with Nzeribe. And they started fighting. Down the year, Chief Victor Okafor made an arrangement with officers of the Nigerian Army to go and arrest Chief Chuma Nzeribe in his house in Ihiala, alleging that he had bombs, that he was in the business of planting bombs, because around that 1995, 96, 97, bomb blasts were the order of the day in some parts of Nigeria. In fact, in all parts of Nigeria, including River State, Port Harcourt, and in Anambra State. So, Victor had more money than Chuma. So, nobody knew what happened, and some kind of, according to the Nigerian army, which later discovered that there was nothing like bomb, that it was just planted, that some wires, some things that looked like, they made it to look like explosive, but it wasn't actually bomb, that it was fake, that it was rather planted around the house of Chuma Nzeribe. So that fight went on. What Chuma did, Chuma was arrested and detained in the army facility, and he spent some days, and he was to be court-martialed by the Nigerian army. So, but something happened. Information started coming, and it was revealed that the military was bought over by Victor Okafor. Then Chief Chuma Nzeribe was released. Then later, Chuma reported Victor Okafor, that is Ezego, to a shrine called Okeja Shrine. Later in the year, I think that was in September 1997. So, but Victor refused answering the invitation. So, they did what they did, and that shrine at that point was a very powerful shrine. If you were invited to the shrine, you had it as a responsibility to come and answer. So, but Chief Ezego never cared. So they didn't, and the shrine was a mile away from Ihiala. So later, in December 1999, Victor Okafor, aka Ezego, that Ezego was his chieftaincy title because he had money, he was rich, he was wealthy. He was returning to Ihiala, Anambra State from Lagos to celebrate his birthday and for Christmas festivity. And he had accident along Ozubulu Okija Road. He had accident and he was rushed to hospital, but he did not survive it. That was how he lost his life. So people started saying that it was his refusal to respond to the invitation of Okija Shrine that led to his demise. That was how the young man, and he was young that time, so Chuma was even older than him at that point. Yes, but he was quite richer than Chuma. So Chuma later, in the year 1999, became a special advisor to the governor of Anambra State on security matters, because the governor of Anambra State at that time came from the same local government area as Chuma and Ezego. That is His Excellency Barrister Dr. Chimoke Mbadinuju from Uli. So he found himself in government at about 2001. That happened again. There was an attack on the family of the lawyer of the late Ezego, that is Chief Victor Okafor. The lawyer was, so the name of that lawyer is Barnabas Igwe, and he was the chairman of Nigerian Bar Association Onitsha branch, and he was from Imo State, Ata, after Ikeduru in Imo State. Some gunmen stormed his house in Onitsha and opened fire on him and the wife was pregnant at that point, and both the man and the wife were nowhere to be found. They became corpses, including the baby in her womb. So that was what happened, and there was strong allegation that the attack was sponsored by Chief Chuma Nzeribe, because the lawyer Barnabas Igwe, according to what happened that time, was the lawyer of Ezego. So Chief Barnabas Igwe was a strong lawyer based in Onitsha around that time. In 2003, Chief Chuma Nzeribe became a House of Representatives member representing Ihiala at the House of Representatives in Nigeria. And in 2007, he contested again and won. So he has been a politician in Nigeria, and he's still alive. He's mid-aged. So that's the story of Chief Chuma Nzeribe and Chief Victor Okafor. But something that has kept people wondering whether or not the Okija Shrine was effective as rumored by people, or as was told to be. Because after the death of Ezego, his house, multi-million naira village home of his, and the Porsche vehicles, he had a lot of state-of-the-art vehicles parked in his compound. Until this moment, till this 2026, his compound, village compound, remains locked under lock and key. And those property, the houses, the vehicles, others are still parked inside that compound. till today. And it was said that when someone dies of Okija Shrine, then the person's property isn't touched by anybody. So those vehicles are still parked in that compound, and the family members ran away. His children and wife. In fact, his wife has remarried. So that's the story. In year 2001, Chief Chuma Nzeribe petitioned those military officers that colluded with Chief Ezego to arrest and detain him and court-martial him in 1997. He wrote a petition against them at the Oputa panel in the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, in year 2001. So, and those military men were found culpable, but I don't know what later happened. So I watched the proceedings. So that's the story of Ezego and his brother, his townsman, Chief Chuma Nzeribe. Chief Chuma Nzeribe is a strong man. He's powerful. He's strong. He was in 2022 arrested and imprisoned. Court found him culpable in an allegation, and the court handed him 7 years prison terms. Then he spent 3 months in prison, and later, without an appeal judgment from anywhere, then he was released. He was released after 3 months in prison, and since 2022, after his release, he has remained a free man till today. So the only reason that was given by the Chief Justice of Nigeria at that time was that there was need to decongest prison, and those prisoners who never committed powerful or strong crimes had no reason to still be kept in detention. So that was the reason given for his immediate release. So thank you. I am Sir Chika Nwaba. Thank you so much.